Yeah, good afternoon, YouTube. So this is the last bridge on the Stevens Canyon Road here. This bridge was rebuilt in 2004, but anyway, over here is this little spur road that goes on the north side of the creek. And just last summer, the open space folks put up this sign and kind of officially opened this old road. Now this has been here for a long time, and the funny thing is they never took down the old no trespassing sign. That's always been there. It's way the heck up in that tree. So this land right here is part of like an 11 or 12 acre parcel, and then just up here is that 40 acre parcel that has the geocache up on the top of the hill there. And those two parcels were purchased apparently the same year they rebuilt the bridge in 2004. In 2014, they had a contractor come in and demolish a number of structures and buildings. There were like 4 houses over here, and then there was one up here. The funny thing is, I vaguely remember some of these buildings you could see along the creek, but the first 4 or 5 years I was riding up here, this stretch of road here, as soon as you get to those signs, you start climbing, and it's about a 10% grade for quite a distance. You end up climbing about 120 feet above the water level to get above the landslide up there. And so this section of road was just put your head down and crank out the revs on the pedals and get over it. And then coming out, it was just get through this as quick as you could, because it's just a boring stretch of road. But all of these videos that I've been making the last couple of weeks or months have all been within about 10-minute ride of right here. Anyway, last October, I hiked down the creek to that area of that landslide, and then last weekend I went down the canyon into that landslide area, and I learned a couple of things last weekend. One was that the water level isn't as high as I thought it was based on the sound level coming out of the canyon. I also learned that there's an exit point out of the canyon by those wrecked cars. Yeah, and then I guess the other thing I learned was the creek is a lot more interesting when there's water flowing in it. Like a waterfall with actual water coming over it is a lot more photogenic than a dry waterfall. I'm thinking today we're going to go up here, and I'll just see how far up the north side of the creek I can get. There were 4 houses up here. I'll try to see if I can see where those were, and then I'll cut in a drawing that the open space people had for the demo contract to show you where those buildings were. Okay, so that's the little spur road coming in there. But there was apparently one house up on top of this rise here. And then I think there was one down here on that flat area. Okay, and then apparently there were 2 more houses up in this area here at the end. As I think up here is the canyon road going up the hill there. And then you've got the creek down here. So I'm going to see if I can get down there. It's kind of a steep bank right here. Yeah, I got the bike parked up there, and right down here they evidently had a stone wall protecting the creek bank. And you can come down right there. It's almost like a little stairway down. So, okay, working the way up the creek. Looks like there was something over in here too. They've got some little stakes and stuff. Yeah, there's what looks like an old road over here. A little bank there, a little flat area. This is on the north side of the creek. I kind of thought there might be something up here. The houses back there, they said some of them dated from the 1890s, so they could have very well had more roads up here, and then they just, fell into disrepair. And yeah, I guess I'm not the only person that comes up here. It must be a popular weekend beer drinking spot, I imagine. I even saw old beer cans down by the wrecked cars up there farther up. Yeah, I'll try to pick up some of this stuff, as much as I can carry. Okay, it looks like the north bank is getting a little too steep. I'm gonna have to cross over here to the south side. So let's see if I can get across the water here. And again, this looks kind of like an old roadbed coming through here. And there's an old galvanized culvert. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna have to cross over again. Got wet feet on the last time. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to do this if the water was too deep. I think that looks like a road shelf a little farther up there. So maybe I'll try staying on this side, see what that looks like up there. Yeah, you can see the water was coming down here. There was a little side channel. And I bet the creek was probably up to this level here. So it was probably pretty deep about a month ago. I'll see if I can get up here. It looks almost like an old road cut. Yeah, not sure if that was an old road cut or not. Bench right here sort of runs out like the creek has washed it away if it was a road. Lots of down trees though. Well, there's some more scrap iron down here. I don't know what that is. Looks like a pipe, and I don't know what that is. It doesn't look like a car. Maybe some sort of equipment, farming equipment maybe. Hard to tell. You got this bay laurel leaning all the way across the creek. It's a tunnel. Wow. And according to the map, yeah, there you can see the landslide up there. So that's the landslide right up there. It's right, I'm right below where I parked last week. So the trail, I think, is right on top of that light spot there. Yeah, so this is definitely below the landslide. That's the guardrail material that's up above. There's that big pile of twisted up metal. So some of that stuff came all the way down to the creek. And yeah, there you go. There's the concrete that the post was set into. But look at the way that's bent. Yeah, there's probably a whole bunch of debris. There's another one right there, another post. There's a couple more. So yeah, that slide, when it let go, it took a bunch of stuff all the way down here. There's fence posts all over up here. Look at that. Wow. That must have been incredible when that slide cut loose. Okay, yeah, this is the base of the slide right here. All the material that came down. Look at that, just cut loose right up there. And then down here, there's just concrete, fence posts. There's some more twisted up channel over there. Yeah, look up here. It's just covered with those old fence posts, or guardrail posts, I should say. As it is, yeah, look at the toe of the landslide down there. That's coming down there. Luckily, I think I can get up around behind this boulder and get past this, because you can't go on either side. This is below the slide area right here on the south side. And yeah, down to the creek level. And I think this is as far down as I got last weekend. And right through there is the wrecked car. So I know where I'm at. Now I just got to figure out how to get down. Okay, down there was the waterfall I stopped at last week by the wrecked car. And then this stretch here is really tight. You got to just zigzag back and forth across the creek. And I think that's where I got to back in October. I was up on top of those down trees, right at the base of this really steep slope. I had to come up over this, there's a big boulder and a slope, and you can come up over the top of that and then side hill down here and miss the creek channel, because that'd be very hard to go through. And this is where I got to in October. I was up on top of those boulders. I was assuming there'd be a waterfall here, but I guess there's enough clearance under the logs that the creek just flows. That's what I thought I was looking at last week, was the water coming over these boulders, but turns out there's no waterfall here. I have connected this up. It is possible to hike from that spur road all the way up to the first water crossing. Yeah, so it's about a half mile up to the first water crossing if you go up this way. And then it's about a half mile down to that little spur road if you go down that way. So it's about a 1 mile hike. I probably wouldn't do it with this much water flowing. The upper part, the lower part is passable, but there's a couple of spots I remember on the upper part. They were hard to get through when it was dry, and with water in there, it could be impassable. Okay, I was working my way back down the creek here on the south side to get out, and I guess I didn't get up this far last time. There's another wrecked car down here with the fin on the tail light on top. Not much left. There's a part of the rocker panel there. Yeah, so it looks like that's a hinge there. That must have been a station wagon then. But those are definitely hinges for a tailgate. Not for a trunk anyway. Probably a station wagon, my guess is. And that's right at the waterfall. I guess I never came up this far last week. I think I came down beyond this tree here and went up. There's kind of a break in the steep slope, and then there's a really faint user trail that goes up the side of the hill. It's not very well defined, and it's really steep, but it avoids climbing over all the trees. So that's the only benefit of that trail. Yeah, it's now 20 minutes till 5, so I gotta still get up the side of this canyon, and that's a pretty steep climb. Anyway, I'll probably be out of breath until I get back to my bike, so I will sign off here. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that video, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.